Good afternoon. We will start the webinar into 3 minutes. Good afternoon again. Welcome to the Business Continuity Management webinar sponsored by CFP Search and presented by me, Melodi Ezgi Ozdemir. This is the second stage of the webinars on the topic of risk and compliance and business continuity. First one was about GRC, governance, risk and compliance topic, and this second one will be based on the and focus on the business continuity management and some kind of supply risks within. It will take approximately 1 hour, maybe less. It will shortly summarize the basics, fundamentals, steps, implementation, and reporting of business continuity and its management. Accredited by both of the UCAS, UK Accreditation Service, and the International Accreditation Service, IS. CF CERT operates in numerous countries, offering a wide range of comprehensive services. CF CERT specializes in providing a variety of vital services to organizations across various sectors. Their offering encompass gap analysis, training, audit, and certification services in areas such as information security, business continuity, IT service management, quality management, GDPR, and personal data management systems. And of course, it has CFE Academy, where the trainings are going on and some of the certifications and training services are provided on. My name is Melodi Ezgi Ozdemir. As an enterprise risk and compliance professional, I have over 15 years of experience in the field of risk management, quality management, enterprise risk management. I had chance to work with different standards and guides such as ERM, COSO, ISO standards, BS standards, and I have led and managed various projects in the areas of financial, operational, cyber, reputation and compliance risks, business continuity, producing strategic reports and presentations as well. I have a strong background, I think, in business continuity too. And this webinar will be in that topic. So thank you for attending, and I hope that you will enjoy it and you will benefit from it. We can start with the basic definitions and the terminology of business continuity. The past several years have caused business operators to realize there are a lot of factors in the market beyond their control that can adversely impact their company. For example, cyber attack, flood, supply chain failure, or losing a key employee, fire. Disruptions to your business can happen at any moment. So also we can count the COVID-19 as well as a global pandemic. You never know when an emergency situation will happen. And as a business, anything that affects your ability to keep production and services from continuing may have serious effects, may have serious impacts on your business, both financially as well as reputationally. The way in which you plan for or respond to such events as fire, floods, vandalism, loss of utilities will determine how quickly and to what level your business can recover. Business continuity is about having a plan to deal with difficult situations, so your organization can continue to function with as little disruption as possible. Whether it is a business or public sector organization or charity, you need to know how you can keep going under any circumstances. And the definition from the Business Continuity Institute um, says that the business continuity is a holistic management process that identifies potential impacts that threaten an organization and provides a framework for building resilience with the capability for an effective response that safeguards the interests of its key stakeholders, reputation, brand, and value creating activities. In simple terms, because this definition is a bit complex, I think. In simple terms, business continuity is the bridge between a disruption affecting service product delivery and restoration to normal working. So it's a flexible framework to help you continue operating in the event of a disruption, and it helps you to measure how quickly you will be able to recover from a disruption. Of course, there are lots of benefits of business content management, BCM. At a time where downtime is unacceptable, business continuity is critical. Downtime comes from a variety of sources. Some threats, such as cyber attacks or extreme weather, seems to be getting worse. So, according to Gardner, cyber attacks are growing in sophistication and exploiting poor cybersecurity threat detection. Therefore, it's important to have a business continuity plan in place in that concern. So, also in other risks apply to business continuity risk management system. Um, the plan should enable business continuity plan, and management should enable the organization to keep running at least at a minimum level during a crisis. Business continuity helps the organization maintain resiliency in responding quickly to an interruption. Strong business continuity saves money, time, and company reputation, I think, and extended outage risks financial, personal, and reputational loss. Business continuity requires an organization to look at itself, analyze potential areas of weakness, and gather key information such as contact lists and technical diagrams of systems that can be useful outside of disaster situations. In undertaking the business continuity planning process, an organization can improve its communication, technology, and resilience. Business continuity might even be a requirement for a legal or compliance reasons. It's important to understand which regulation affect a given organization, especially in the era of increased regulation. So business continuity means more than just making sure the lights stay on when a crisis hits. The benefits of establishing a business continuity strategy will include resilience, the first one. With resilience means you can operate with greater awareness of what really matters during a crisis. You can focus resources effectively. So the second one is employee engagement and ownership, the second benefit of BCM. So your people understand their roles and responsibilities in a crisis and are invested in executing a seamless recovery. The third one is strategic recovery plans. So it's a kind of predefined strategic decisions that are embedded into recovery plans to guide your people toward a common goal during disruption. And the fourth one is a detailed business impacts and risk identified, which is related to risk management. So you can figure out and you can clarify potential risk and areas of concern that might and you can mitigate them in peacetime rather than in the heat of a crisis. You will be prepared. So the fifth one is empowered leadership. So leaders are actively enabled to monitor the state of resilience within the organization and provide hands-on guidance and support with business continuity management. And the last one is continuous improvement. It is also the benefit of many standards, various best practices. So continuous improvement is the very important step, and some kind of continuous step is literally. Uh, it includes the tests, drills, simulations, penetration tests, exercises, help you understand that what works and what doesn't. So it helps you to enable continued resilience and growth, basically. So when it comes to the planning of the side of business content management, we say business content plan. So what should you plan for regarding business continuity? There are some examples here. Uh, Extreme weather conditions, climate change, anything like that. So climate change triggers the extreme weather conditions and the accidents and incidents also, and the disruption. Utility failure, uh, even in also in the production and service sectors. Loss of damage to premises, staff shortage, equipment failure, supply failure, evacuation, fuel shortage, and loss of custom. These are the basic, but you can add many of them to this list, and you can and all the incidents and the business continuity disruption examples change and differs from company to company, sector sector, geography to geography. So you will, with a good business impact analysis and risk management structure, you will find out what kind of incidents or risks you have to plan for in advance. And the implementation. So it's from before this slide and before this section of the presentation and webinar, it was about the theory and the definitions and the other fundamentals of the business continuity. But now we will go on with the implementation, other detailed technical information about the framework. So business continuity management, BCM, is a process of series of steps and activities that are followed to ensure that critical business functions can continue in the event of a disaster or an emergency. The BCM process begins with risk assessment and identification of key business functions, and then proceed with development and implementation of continuity plans for those functions. In order for a BCM plan to be effective, it must be regularly tested and updated to reflect changes in the business environment. The BCM process should also include regular communication and training for employees, of course, so that everyone is aware of their role in maintaining continuity of operations. So on the screen, on the slide, you will see the 6 steps of the business continuity management implementation. And the first one is define business. It's about writing about business continuity management objectives, defining its value and protection instructions for each assets. And the second one is identifying, analyzing the process and the risk. So it's about identifying all significant roles of risks, resources, and all critical processes. And the third one is developing strategies. It's about determining the selection of alternative strategies available for mitigating loss. We can say testing scenarios, um, other kind of scenario of workshops or um, drills, any tests is under this developing strategies section. And of course, the contingency plans. Here you can develop plans which includes role allocation and responsibilities in course of crisis. You can say crisis management plans, crisis plans, or the disaster recovery plans for the IT. And the other one is using tests. So testing helps you create awareness of execution in the event of any disaster or risk. And the last one, the sixth one, is establishing BCM, business continuity management. Of course, it's as I mentioned, it helps you to create awareness among managers, employees, and partners in company and raises awareness. And it's kind of the culture of business continuity and risk management. And also it shows the last step shows the and you give you chance to consider which maturity level you are in. So, and the terminology of business continuity plan is uh, in the beginning, it seems so complicated generally because there are lots of terms such as business impact analysis, BIA, recovery time objective, RTO, recovery point objective, RPO, maximum tolerable period of disruption, MTPD. So uh, it looks a bit complicated, but um, I think the image on the screen on the slide shows it clearly uh, because some definitions and terms uh, the are about the area, about the process, about the stage that the incident haven't occurred yet, the risks haven't occurred, or the threat wasn't in the real situation. So it shows stage one, business as usual, and then uh, how much data or how much time or how much money you can lose and you can tolerate gives you the term recovery point objective. You need to define that. It's like a risk appetite, I think, because you here just decide what you can cope up with. So in the second stage, it's disaster stage. It happens, and now from now on, you need to deal with the actions. So you need to be in line with your target time of recovery, which is recovery time objective, RTO. And of course, these are defined, these are clarified, identified, and just decided before the risk and the incident occurs and the disruption occurs. So you would know that how long the business can suffer the loss of function with a major business continuity plan. So it is the maximum tolerable downtime (MTD). And after stage three, the recovery section, you have the work time recovery, maximum time verify system and data integrity also. And the last stage, you will resume the business uh, assessment. And the key activities um, about are the activities that if stopped or interrupt will have significant effects on service or production. It defines that. Business impact analysis, BII, is an analysis of activities and effect that the business disruption might have on them. Recovery time objective, RTO, is the period of time following an incident within which a product or an activity must be resumed and resources must be recovered. And The recovery point objective defines the point to which information or the uh, money or the uh, other sources, electronic and hard copy sources, used by an activity must be restored to enable the activity to operate on resumption. And the maximum tolerable period of disruption, MTPD, is the time it will take for adverse effects from disruption to become unacceptable. And there are response plans. This is a collective name for plans, action cards, procedures, and contact lists for use in response to a business interruption. So I won't go in depth, in deep in this terminology because it's a bit technical side of it. But I think you can get the idea from the figure and the definitions. You will be prepared for and you will plan for the business content disruption before it happens. So you will have some targets, appetites, levels, and other kind of um, limits regarding the business continuity in any kind of processes. It could be IT process, it could be about the data loss, about production, manufacturing. So you will have plans in advance how to deal with this incident before it occurs, and you will have the target for the recovery. So how much loss you can tolerate as a management, or how long you can suffer from this loss, or how quick you can recover from it, and what will happen next as a learned lesson. So it's similar to risk management process, which is a proactive process and holistic approach. So I think the risk management and compliance management professionals or these professionals will get the idea easier. And there are four steps to conduct business impact analysis. Business impact analysis, we talked about uh, it before in the termination as the second one. It is the, I think, major part of the business content plan. So we will look at it in detail. So first step is plan. So it's planning is about how you will conduct your business impact analysis. Even though you use BIA to analyze larger company processes, um, you can think of the business impact analysis itself as a project that needs to be planned, just like a regular project. Start by creating a project plan that outlines how you will approach your business impact analysis, including the scope of the analysis, the objectives of your business impact plan, and the stakeholders you will work with. A well-written project plan provides a clear path forward for your business impact analysis. It helps stakeholders understand that you are responsible for and ensures you have all resources you need before you begin. As you create your plan, you will consider how you will organize the different pieces of your business impact analysis so team members can find and understand the information they need, then act effectively. Project management software like Asana or other management softwares or other tools can help you coordinate all the work in a central tool. So the team members can have a signal source of truth of each project component. Um, Second one is gathering information. It's about information. So before you can predict the second step of the business impact analysis is gathering information. So before you can predict the consequences of business disruption with that, you first need to understand how critical business processes work. For that, you need to ask the experts, business owners, process owners, risk owners, and stakeholders who manage and execute the business processes you are investigating, and you will get the idea and you will get the information from them. While you probably have a bird's eye view of processes and understand the big picture needs, it's also important to talk with someone closer to the work because they are the owners of the process. They know the risk and they know the disruption possibilities in their processes. But you will be the third eye, viewing and investigating with them, helping them. So that way you can understand the on-the-ground impacts of business disruptions as well as the solutions you are thinking of implementing. So there are two common information gathering methods. One is setting up interviews with stakeholders, C-level management, top management, business owners, risk owners, operators, etc. It differs from sector to sector, as I said, because in manufacturing, for example, you need to talk to very technical professionals and process owners to get the idea of the to familiarize yourself and to get used to the planning, business content planning for manufacturing, for example, because there are lots of things that you need to consider, and those professionals who are the risk owners, business owners, stakeholders, they will give you lots of information to look at it in depth. And second method is to create a business impact analysis questionnaire. So you can send them to stakeholders, business owners, risk owners, and you can you can make it anonymous. So the questions you ask during an interview on a questionnaire would be similar, but gathering data would be easier with a questionnaire, maybe because of confidentiality and transparency. While interviews are often more personal, it can work that way too, but a questionnaire can save time and help you standard your data. So the third method to third step of conducting the business impact analysis is data analysis. You gathered the information, you collect data. Now you need to go for the analysis side. Now that you have collected information about each business process, it's time to start your analysis. To help guide your investigation, you need to consider some questions like which processes are most important to keep your business operating. So you can create a prioritized list of critical business functions. That way, when disruptive events occur, you know which processes you need to get up and running first, and which ones you can wait. So the other thing that you need to consider that what resources does each process need to operate successfully. It can be Plan B, it can be alternative supplier or anything kind of backup system. This can include team members, technology, and physical resources like raw materials and workspaces. When you know which resource is absolutely essential, you can more easily prioritize resource allocation when business disruption occurs. So you will be rapid and you will take agile decisions there during the incident, during the disruption. So the other thing in data analysis, you will I think you need to ask that how long will it take to bring each process back to normal operation when a disruption occurs, and how much money will it cost? So this helps you create an accurate timeline budget for your disaster recovery plan. So you can be prepared for potential losses and get things back on track as quickly as possible. And the fourth step, last step of business impact analysis is the reporting. You will create a report in this step. So once you have analyzed, you collect the data, I mean, you plan it, for it. You collect the data, you collect the information, you analyze the data, and you now it's time to create the report and just summarizes for the stakeholders, business owners, risk owners, and of course the executive leaders. So once you have analyzed your findings, the final step is to actually create that business impact analysis report finally. So BIA report helps you or senior management create data-backed recovery strategies based on input of process experts. Your report is the most important outcome of your business impact analysis. So, and because it's how you will communicate your findings to company leadership and help them identify the best contingency plans and to get your business back on track. And you will need the assistance, awareness of the top management doing all of these steps from the beginning. And you will also need to, make them understand what kind of planning information will be need and what areas they need to assist you in. So it's also includes allocating resources for this business continuity planning, business impact analysis, and just taking action and mitigations and planning for it. Right. The other thing that I will mention is the components of business continuity plan. So you might already know the um, component components of business continuity plan. It is not a must. It is not a it's not a sharp thing to uh like on the screen because you will find your own way and you will find the best business continuity plan for your organization, I think. But generally, there are some sections in the plan that you will find in most of them. Uh, of course, the introductions, aims, objectives, key critical business activities list. It is really important, this one. I think critical business activities, critical processes list will help you better, more than everything in business continuity planning, because you can now focus on what areas need to be improved, what areas need to be focused, and um, are more includes more risk than the others. So you will plan for them uh, uh, more frequently, maybe, or you will allocate resources for the disaster recovery in advance in different way and perception. So also it can could include the recovery time objective RTO in that step of the plan. And the other components might be potential risk and threats. You can also deliver data from the risk management um, projects or risk assessments of the current risk assessments and remaining risk assessments of the organization. You can search for the incidents that had already occurred, and you can find some kind of information and memory of the organization. What kind of threats and incidents happened? What kind of disruptions happened before, and what the management and the other process owners uh, conduct as an action plan or mitigation plan. What was the lessons learned after that disruption? It will give the idea to plan for further. So the other thing in as a component can be plan triggers, and the other one can be activation process, or you can create action cards for response. It can help. Action cards means kind of action plans. So, but if you just, mm, just separate the actions from the action plan, it will be kind of action cards. in the quality management system is kind of um, action planning form, or maybe you can ask the risk owners to provide you to feedback you with kind of uh, with action plans and mitigation plans, and they will just define what risk they identify, what is the current situation, what kind of measures in place, and what kind of measures they need to take to just manage the risk uh, effectively. So it will be kind of action cards for response. And the other part of the business continuity plan is recovery process. So you it's the one of the last step for the business continuity management and business continuity planning. The other thing that you want to see in your business continuity plan might be key contacts, customers, suppliers, staff, and other stakeholders lists. It's really important in the crisis management as well because communication is the key. So if you have the list of the contacts, customers, suppliers, staff, and other stakeholders, it would help. Really, it would help to um, just react faster and in agile perspective. Uh, I want to mention the difference between the business impact analysis and risk assessment because they look similar. They seem similar. A risk management analyzes potential threats and the likelihood of them happening. But the business impact analysis measures severity of those threats and how they would affect business operation and finances. In other words, BIA, business impact analysis, is essentially an extension of a risk assessment report. So BIA identifies potential risk, also measures the impact as well, not just the potential risks. It identifies the impact and measures the impact. And supply risk. For this webinar, we want to pick one topic under the top topic of business continuity, and it was supply risk, which is I think which is one of the most companies and organizations are dealing with within the business continuity management. So in many cases, business continuity planning is inherently cross-functional with a necessity to address risk to an organization's product and service offerings, as well as the resources necessary to meet obligations. As organizations increasingly rely on a global network of suppliers and service providers, business continuity practitioners have the responsibility to understand and analyze these relationships and lead strategy identification efforts to protect their organization when faced with a third-party disruption. So when the results of the BIA, business impact analysis and risk assessments are combined, business continuity professionals, practitioners are better positioned to understand their organization most critical third-party relationships. So as well as the most pressing risk and opportunities. Uh, so you may have to conduct additional analysis to determine whether the highest risk of suppliers that emerge require additional remediation. In many cases, organizations may choose to tier suppliers into critical or non-critical tiers to facilitate further analysis. Example criteria for critical suppliers may include the supplier in question may include the determination of the supplier in question is required for the execution of an activity that supports the delivery of an in-scope product or service, or critical supplier may include the supplier product or service could not be provided by another provider already used by the organization, or it can be critical supplier, can be a supplier which the supplier's level integration within the organization and complexity of replacing the supplier following the onset of a disruptive incident exceeds the acceptable level, as said by a top management, we can say. So examining the high-risk suppliers and then determining if these suppliers require additional mitigation may be required. Keep in mind that while risk may run to organization priorities, it is critical that business continuity managers, practitioners inform and advise top management of existing risks to enable strategic and appropriate decision making. So to summarize, in many cases, organization may choose critical suppliers, but the three of them can be a critical supplier, can be um, the supplier that supports the delivery of a critical product and service, and also the critical supplier can be a supplier which doesn't have any alternative as an alternative provider. Or the third one is if the integration of that supply here to your organization might be so complex, so it will be very there will be some complexity of replacing suppliers. So you can say that supplier is kind of critical. So I think it's this tree on the screen will help you to define to identify the critical suppliers, basically. Yeah, by presenting the results of business impact analysis and risk assessment in a prioritized and straightforward manner, business content practitioners can give top management the information they need to effectively balance strategic initiative previously discussed with the risk inherently associated with the global network of suppliers and service providers. A com Accomplishing the task requires deliberate planning, detailed data gathering, analysis, and ability work cross-functionally. So when representing this information to top management, care should be taken to highlight any signal points of failure that were identified, as well as strategic impacts associated with suppliers that enable the delivery of multiple products and services. So presenting the highest risk suppliers will serve as a good starting point, I think. Um, so presenting the results of third-party business impact analysis and risk assessments allows business content managers and practitioners to achieve two objectives that you will see on the slide as well. Informing top management of risk and mitigation opportunities related to critical suppliers and third parties, and enabling strategic decision making. As a conclusion, business content managers who proactively seeking to understand and documenting and trading risk associated with third-party relationships can significantly reduce the likelihood of a disruptive incident as well as the impacts should an incident occur. So this activity is a critical component of many business content management systems, largely due to an increasing globalized business environment in which many organizations rely on complex third-party relationships to support delivery of their most critical products and services. Business continuity professionals play a critical role in assessing the managing the risk posed by engaging these relationships, as they are responsible for equipping top management with the information required to balance business requirements with the risks and opportunities brought by third-party relationships. I think this is my favorite part of the webinar, standards. and best practices. So um, I will just summarize, I will just show you the business continuity management standards. I think the most popular and known and the best practice in business continuity management standards is ISO 20301. It's about security and resilience, business continuity management system requirements. And the second one is risk management ISO standard. Of course, it's ISO 31000. And you can see other standards, ISO standards on the list. And of course, we will mention how organization will be prepared, will be organized, and just manage the business continuity with the roles that assign. So I think there are three groups in the roles and responsibility parts. Uh, One of them is board level commitment and is important. So you can, even before the pandemic, we found that many of our clients or many of our inner clients, I mean, came to us with a clear board mandate to implement or improve their business content plans and program. But equally important to board level buy-in is their demonstrated commitment towards the effective business content program that's focused on continuous improvement. Like any corporate-wide effort, success of your business content program efforts largely rests on company-wide buy-in, and that buy-in begins at the top. That's why it's critical for your board and executive leadership to have continued high-level involvement in content planning efforts to model the importance that content planning plays in managing risk. And there is the second part. I mean, I mentioned the board and executive commitment. It's really important in every kind of process, I think, especially in internal auditing, risk management, business continuity, this kind of areas. So the other thing that other, I think, role, which is very important, is steering committee and its members. So you can see on the right on the screen as in the yellow circle. And steering committee members who get the big picture is really important. Steering committee members should understand the importance of continuity planning and commit to doing it effectively. So critical thinking skills and a big picture perspective are also critical to this role. Steering committee members should not only well present in their area of responsibility, but also have the ability to think horizontally across organizational silos and understand the interdependencies of processes, intersectionality of the processes and other people in their organization. So serving on the business content steering committee is also an excellent growth opportunity for mid-level leaders with senior leadership potential. It provides the opportunity for both strategic and operational insights, along with developing risk management expertise. And the third one is business units on their content plans in the red circle. Business unit ownership over plan creation, we can say. One mistake we often see is when program managers or continuity members are asked with writing the business content plans for each business unit. However, it is the business plan owners who are most directly driven the business by the business. So it is critical that business content plans align well to their day-to-day leadership management responsibilities. As a result, it is important that the action plan creation, including writing, editing, and revising, is done by the actual business unit that will put the plan into action. Ideally, each business unit leader will exercise direct oversight and responsibility using their knowledge of their department to make sure their business content plans completed and carried out. So the actual doing of creating the plan is sometimes delegated to business unit members. The ideal team member for this task should understand their function well, be organized, and be able to collaborate well with others in the organization to execute planning activities. I think this slide should be, should have been the previous one. Sorry for that. But I need to mention the other standards as well, like because the fire, flood, and other disasters also the biggest part and the biggest part of the risks in business continuity management. So National Fire Protection Association and also very important here and standard and best practice helps us as a risk and business continuity professionals many times. It's really a good guide. And you can see NIST here. It's contingency planning guide for federal information systems. It's basically on in the information security and information systems, business continuity. So it is also one of the best practices and standards you can use. I think we are nearly at the end of this webinar. So if you want, if you want to get, because we provide also certification for our webinar series and webinars individually. If you would like to, uh, answer the questions that I will, share with you on the meeting section. Now I will send you a link which you can click on and start answering the questions about this webinar. So after you finish the survey, the quiz, you will be able to, get the certification for this webinar as well. Thank you for attending this today's webinar on business content management. So we will be more related webinars on the topics of risk management, supply risks, business content management, governance, and compliance. So thank you for your time and consideration today. I hope you enjoy it and you benefit from it. And thank you. Bye-bye.